some of the lady wrestlers. She was doing some work with them, but I don't know if she's still doing that now.
Yeah.
She was awesome. Man. She was awesome on the watch, though. She was good.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was. She was. I mean, she was the woman's pioneer. Her and Trish before this whole women's revolution was even a thing. No, it was those two. Those two completely changed the business for women.
First female main event of Raw, right?
Yeah.
So someone asked me about that movie, Fighting with Your Family. Do you think, in my opinion, that movie, Fighting with Your Family, you think the reason they gave Paige a title match so quickly is they were trying to bring back the Lita, Trish type of era of wrestling?
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the movie, to be honest with you, but
it's a good movie.
It looks good.
It's on Hulu now. If you have Hulu.
I do. Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime too. I just need to commit and sit down and watch it.
He needs to put down his video game remote and actually watch some TV once in a while.
There you go.
We'll have to record another episode if you've seen it, Jester. But yeah, I just watched Pet Sematary on Hulu, so we'll have to do a movie review coming up soon.
MC is the watcher of all movies. He pulls out everything. He's like, "Have you seen?" I totally forgot Pet Sematary was even around anymore. And the new edition, that was like, how many years ago did that movie come out?
Yeah, this was the one they redid, though.
So MC gets these movies when they're like 20 years old, and they finally show up on Hulu. He's like, "Hey, did you watch the old Pet Sematary from 8 years ago?" I'd be like,
you
no.
didn't the reboot of it. They actually rebooted the movie.
I know, but it was like wasn't it like 4 or 5 years ago that movie came out?
No, that was like a couple of years, not even 2 years ago. They came out with this reboot of it.
Oh, all right.
No, you're thinking of like the TV, like they did that like in a TV version or something. Like this is like the third one that they did.
I was asking a question of Rocky, and you just jumped in with some fucking movie from Pet Sematary. Let's go back to my question. Do you think that they were trying to revive the whole Trish and Chyna and Lita type of female wrestler when they brought Paige on? Because she wasn't your typical pretty girl. And do you think they were trying to get back to like making them more kind of, I don't want to say like tomboyish, but making them more wrestling instead of just out there being eye candy for guys? Because I mean, now you look at the girls wrestling situation now; they're pretty serious. They got some serious shit, man. I mean, their events are actually more entertaining than they used to be.
Oh, definitely.
They've converted you. You were not a proponent of this a couple years ago.
I was not. But then you watch what they're doing out there, and they're busting ass, man. So
I think if anybody was the pioneer to do that, it was probably Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. Paige, her in-ring career was good. I mean, but she just, to me, she wasn't on that level.
Remember Paige and Emma. Remember they had that takeover match. That was kind of one of the pioneer, right before the Four Horsewomen took off. Remember that one?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me about that. Emma, whatever happened to her? I think last I saw her, she was headlining some indie show here in Arizona.
I think she's in Ring of Honor, I think now, isn't she? She was going to show up in Impact, and
didn't she get fired from WWE for stealing something from Walmart and got arrested for it?
No, for real?
I think so. Yeah, I think she stole something.
Action figure.
Yeah, I think she ended up stealing something from Walmart, and she got arrested. She got caught and arrested. Front page, the whole 9 yards. And I think WWE fired her, let her out of her contract or something over that.
I never heard that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but I think I read something along those lines.
She had a conflict with the company, apparently, in 2017.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding,
Like a lot of them do.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with that, though. I don't want anybody to come in on an indie show and then just attack from behind or something, Like, I heard what you said on that podcast.
Yeah. Sure, that's what they said. They're coming on the podcast. They're thumbing through, and they're like, "Me podcast, you listen." That looks like the old guy from Wrestling MC, you bastard. So I got another one for you. I started this thing, and you probably don't get it, Mark, because it's not on Hulu yet. But one thing I've been watching is this series on Vice TV called The Dark Side of the Ring.
Ooh, yeah.
Have anybody seen that yet?
MC, thank you for sharing the links. I really appreciate that.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we did watch The Dark Side of the Ring, Benoit, two-parter. I'll let Rock talk about it if you've seen. Have you watched those yet, Rock?
I actually have not had a chance to sit down and watch them yet, but I've seen...
There's a season 2.
Okay, what's his name? Chris Benoit?
The father killed his wife and son and then committed suicide.
Why does this happen?
So I want to know who's making this series. Do you know?
Murder, stop listening now.
Vice
was out of the
is,
bag. People want to know what really goes on behind the scenes.
Wrestling was a brotherhood. It was like being in the mafia.
Someone doesn't just fall from the top of an arena. Something went wrong.
There's a woman who yells to Stuka, "You goddamn murderer."
I stuck him like 9 times. I counted, it was 9.
There's nothing fake about guys breaking their bodies down.
The tails get taller and taller and bigger and better.
This is not something that does the public image of professional wrestling a world of good.
So Dark Side of the Ring, that dude that's like mainly in it's to do with the tennis racket from what was his name? You'll know his name.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette.
He's constantly in there holding almost all these episodes. And it was pretty it was pretty cool to watch. I never seen that before. I started watching it a couple days ago. I didn't know that was even out. How long?
Did you watch the Benoit ones, or did you watch?
No, I haven't watched that one yet. I watched the first series. Yeah. I'm up with the Von Erichs. Yeah, that's the one I watched last night. That one was pretty interesting.
I'm going to warn you guys, especially if you loved Eddie Guerrero and stuff, as most people do. That first part of the Benoit one focuses a lot on Eddie's passing, and that'll wreck you. Definitely as a longtime fan. It's just stuff, details without spoiling it for people who haven't seen it, but details of how Eddie was found and stuff by Chavo. That really I had never heard that exact story before, so that kind of that'll tear you up. And then the second part or two is just sad. It'll wreck you for sure as a wrestling fan.
So what do you think, though? Do you think as a wrestling fan, do you think this thing is worth watching, or do you think this thing is kind of do you think this
whole series, or are you talking about
the series?
Oh, the series is incredible. I watched the string of ones from Moolah to Bret Hart and Macho Man, all those ones that they had on there, Von Erichs, like you said.
See, I thought the Macho Man one sucked. I thought that one was the first one. That was kind of boring. I didn't really get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really tell you anything already here before in the past, but it was still, it still had a lot of. Hearing the old guys and stuff, it's cool to see. It wasn't anything new.
I'll tell you, the one that was fucked up was the Bruiser Brody murder.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy weird.
Because that's like they basically just got away with murder on him.
Fucking killed him in the locker room, and then everybody just got away. It's fucked up.
Nobody. The story with Tony Atlas, that they were coming for him, and he was like, the only one he was trying to save his life. Everybody else was basically too afraid to do anything, or just didn't want to, even mind their own business. So yeah, that was a shame. That was real tragic. He really felt for his family at the end of that.
Did you ever hear about that one, Rock? Bruiser Brody?
I've heard a little bit about it, but now I really need to go watch this episode. Yeah, now I'm intrigued.
Fucker got stabbed, man.
Dang.
It was crazy. He got stabbed. Where was he? What? Was he in Italy or something? Or
I was in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah. Fucker got stabbed by a Puerto Rican wrestler, and then they all just tried to cover it up, basically. It was crazy, dude. I never heard of that story. That sounded bad.
That's cold blooded.
Because when I first watched it, I was watching the Macho Man's the first one, and that one you can probably skip because it's nothing you never heard of before. If you follow wrestling back in the 80s, you pretty much watched this whole thing go down anyways. It wasn't ever private. And then the Bruiser Brody one, I think, is the second one. Maybe. But
yeah, it might be.
And then
the one I watched was the Bret Hart one, which a lot of that was already mainstream too, but it was still done very well.
And the Bret Hart one, yeah, that was fucking already. You already know the story. You've seen it several times. So, but don't you think this is kind of cutting into that documentary that was made back in the day, Beyond the Mat? Don't you think it's kind of just, I don't know, kind of piggybacking on the Beyond the Mat movie?
Yeah, in some ways, although there's so many different stories to be told that Beyond the Mat just scratch the surface of. So, like, you could take these whole episodes and go in depth into these things. I think the next one, after the Benoit ones, once you guys see that one, the next one I think on the docket is New Jack. So there's so many things surrounding New Jack with that mass transit incident where he, basically carves a kid and he's bleeding like a fountain, and then he's got his prior criminal record before wrestling. So they're going to really delve into the story of him, and it's sad because he's basically broken up now after all those dives he's done, and so I'm sure it's going to be tough to watch some of this stuff as you get into them. There's so many underbelly of wrestling stories. This could go on for I don't know how many seasons. It just depends how long they want to do this for.
The other funny one too, Rock, is when you see they do the Macho Man Elizabeth first one. They guess they were all friends, like Macho Man and them were friends with Hulk Hogan and his wife and Vince McMahon, and they're going through like a photo album for some fucking reason, and there's Vince McMahon standing with like nut hugger bikini briefs and standing on a boat, and he's all fucking shredded looking like he did when he got all shredded later, and then they're like, is that Vince? Wow. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are we looking at? Why do we have to look at that picture? And the funny shit is his body, like his upper body's shredded, but his legs have no definition at all. They're just big fat legs. Yeah,
that's always been Vince, man. WrestleMania 19 when he fought Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah, he was ripped on top, looked like $1 million, but then he has his little twig legs, man. It was comedy, man. Good old Vince. Jeez Louise.
I've seen
we'll have to watch these series.
Seen him live wrestle Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
What's that?
WrestleMania 22 or Vince versus Shawn Michaels. You got to see that bastard live.
Why do you think that? Let's go back to that too. Why do you think that Vince felt like it was important for him to get in the ring?
Just capitalize on the popularity of his villainy. Basically, when he quote unquote screwed Bret in that whole incident, he was the hottest heel in the business. People hated him, hated his guts, and then Austin, he created that rivalry with Steve Austin. The payoff when you create a heel that hot, the payoff is to see him get his ass kicked in the ring, and that's why Vince, I think, did that. He put himself in there. I mean, some of the things could be questionable, like when he wrestled Triple H and won the WWE title. I mean, that you can question what the hell is he doing there, but.
When he gave himself the ECW title.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that was when he was wearing the do-rag. Yeah, that was just stupid shit. But yeah, I mean, I can understand getting in the ring with Austin because people wanted to see Austin kick the shit out of him. I mean, that was definitely best for business. I don't think you'd find.
Don't you think I got kind of out of control? Like all of a sudden he started, like you said, he started wrestling at a bunch of events.
Probably would have said stop. Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the president, It's like you don't want to see Trump going in there wrestling, and probably a lot of people would, but they don't want to see they don't want to see the guy who runs it always wrestling in every event. Like now he's part of the roster.
Right. Yeah, he definitely should have. I mean, I can see him versus Hogan. That was a long time feud in the making. Him and Austin, I can see them, that being a money feud, but
because of the backstory, right? Because of the backstory, because these guys all fucking have problems with each other.
Yeah, they sued each other and back and forth and this and that. So yeah,
probably when he got involved with Shawn Michaels and like he was mocking his Christianity and stuff like that, and Shawn Michaels did that match with him and